Good morning, everyone. It's 10 a.m., so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm Rebecca Kluber-Dance-Honsinger, the Educational Services Librarian for the Central New York Library Resources Council. My pronouns are she, her. Thank you for joining us for today's Summer Reading Perfomer Showcase. Before we get started, I'd like to take care of some housekeeping. We will be utilizing the chat or the Q&A feature to ask the chat as well as the Q&A feature for this webinar. Please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat now. Please use either the chat or the Q&A to ask questions. We'd actually prefer the chat for this webinar as our performers will be keeping an eye out, so feel free to direct your questions to them throughout the showcase. Live captioning is available for this webinar. To toggle the subtitles on or off, click the live transcript button at the bottom of your screen and choose either show subtitle or hide subtitle. All attendees are expected to follow CLRC's code of conduct, which will be added to the chat shortly. To summarize, please treat all CLRC staff, event attendees, and speakers with respect. Those who are not adhering to the code of conduct will be removed from the webinar. This event is being recorded, and a link to the recording will be shared in the next few days. The email containing the link will also provide information about getting a certificate of attendance, as well as a handout with the information about these performers. The forms to both request a certificate and evaluate this event will also be posted in the chat towards the end of the webinar. If you're interested in more events from both CLRC and other ESLN councils, please visit CLRC's event listing page. That link will also be added to the chat. Now I'd like to introduce the coordinator for member services for the Onondaga County Public Libraries, Amanda Scavulli, to tell you all more about this special event.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Rebecca. As Rebecca mentioned, I'm Amanda Scavulli, and I'm the coordinator for member services at the Onondaga County Public Library System. My role as a system consultant means that I wear a lot of hats and occasionally costumes and wigs. One of my favorite things to do is to collaborate with the amazing staff at CLRC on continuing education, which brings us to today. So back pre-pandemic, I used to do some small showcases in real life around March every year. I always heard you should do this earlier, but again, it's with all the hats and snow, and now today there's wind. But however, with Zoom and great partnerships, we can showcase even more performers during the time when you want to see them, and traveling isn't an issue. You're going to experience a sampling of 9 local-ish performers. You may have received a flyer or email blast from them in the past, as you generally do around this time of year. It might be in a pile of paperwork, might be an unread email, or you're just like, I already have my summer planned, or hopefully you've never heard from some of these folks before and you'll want to hire them. So how is this going to work? Each performer has about 8 to 9 minutes to share their trade with you. They cannot see you, but you can see them. And as Rebecca mentioned, you can chat with them. But when you see me, that means that they have 1 minute left, and then they'll get muted. A handout of all the featured performers and their contact information will be distributed after the event, so you can get first dibs on hiring them for summer 2023, or really any time of the year. And many of them cater to more than just kids programs. Your information will not be shared with the performers. I repeat, you will not be added to any mailing lists. If you want to hire one or some or all of them, it is up to you, the participant, to reach out to them. So I think that's all the housekeeping stuff. So let's get into it. Our first performer is Illusionist Etienne.
Yes. What's up, guys? I'm Illusionist Etienne. Check this out, guys. My show is highly specialized in magic, but like everyone else, I'm trying to expand my skill set. So check this out. I'm going to draw a picture for you, all right? Pay close attention. It is a ball. Thank you. It gets better. Check it out. Any guesses? Type in the chat. What is that? Yeah, bowling ball. Now, guys, do not take your eyes off this drawing. Ready? Watch. 1, 2, 3. Guys, that is a bowling ball. And the coolest part is the drawing is gone. Guys, that's when you clap really loud. Yes, blow it up in your office or your home, wherever you are right now. Doesn't matter to me. Let people know you just saw something awesome. Guys, check this out. This is real. This is solid. This is not an illusion. This is a bowling ball. That actually just happened. As a matter of fact, listen very carefully. Ready? Shh. That is no joke, guys. And I got to admit, to pull that off for you here this morning, that actually hurt a lot. And the reason is I just got this jacket back from the dry cleaner. I think they left a pin sticking in the sleeve because it's been poking me in the arm all day. Can you guys see the pin? No? How about now, guys? Yes, that is the bowling ball out of drawing a bowling pin out of my sleeve. And guys, that is a heck of a way to start this showcase. Yeah? Clap it up. Let's go. Yes, yes, yes. Now, guys, my name is Etienne. If you've had me at your library before, blow up that chat now and let all these other librarians, everyone else tuning in, what you thought of the show. It is my greatest honor. I started magic when I was 12 years old, and it started with a book, guys, a book from my local library. So I have a real passion for magic. I have a real passion for libraries, and I am now at a point in my career where I'm lucky enough to give back. I tour around the country the entire year, and my summer schedule actually allows me to be in this part, the Northeast of America, and it allows me to stay here and do libraries still. So if you're looking to do something awesome this summer, my whole thing is Magic Rocks, because it does. Please reach out to me. Just my website is magicrocks.com. You can see the sizzle reel. But let's get into another trick real quick, all right? Everyone check this out. And it's not really a trick. It's an observation test. And I know you guys are very observant. Check it out. Look on the inside. There's nothing in there, right? Nothing on the outside. And what is this, guys? It's a box, yeah. And there's absolutely nothing in there, correct? Guys, that is incorrect. Check it out, guys. All of that stuff was in the box. And I love doing this for several reasons. Number one, it's really fun to do. And let me show you how this works. I love showing behind the scenes because it gets people intrigued, right? I don't keep everything to myself. Some secrets are meant to be shared. And this one's really fun and really old. Check it out. It looks like a box, right? So when I put it together, all this stuff just gets folded up in there. And see where the mirrors are? That is the trap door that was hiding all that in the bottom of the box. So when you're looking into it, you think it's empty, but you're really seeing just that fake flap. And then when I open it up, and I can give that secret away for several reasons. One, like I said, no one uses it anymore. And two, it intrigues the audience. It gets their attention. They want to know more about magic. As a matter of fact, if you're enjoying this showcase, do exactly what this sign says. Yes. Come on, guys. Yes, you're a rowdy bunch. I love it. You guys are fantastic. I love it. I love it. Thank you, guys. I'm going to do one last trick for you, and then I'm going to talk about something unique and new that I have offered this year. So for libraries that I've been to before, we got some new exciting stuff. And for ones I've never been to, then you know we're having a good time. So let's check this out. We have a dollar bill. Now, here's what's really important about the virtual world, right? I want you guys to know that if we were in person right now, I could borrow this dollar bill from someone. This is just a dollar bill that came from one of you guys, all right? Because everything you can see, everything you see here is no camera tricks, nothing like that. It's all done in real life. So check it out. Just a dollar bill. And now let's test your brains early this morning. Guys, how many pennies are in a dollar? 100. That's right. How many dimes? Yep, 10. Nickels? 20. That's right. How many quarters, guys? That's right. Check it out. That is 4 quarters. And if I slowly unfold the bill, you can begin to see the 4 quarters of the dollar bill. And guys, this is not cut. This is not taped. This is not glued. This is not photocopied. This is real federal U.S. currency. And guys, I once did this for a corporate show at an accounting convention, and the whole thing stopped right at this trick. Everyone just looked at this for the next hour. And this looks cool, but it is cool. But I got to be honest with you guys. We can't leave it like this. When you do this, when you commit a federal offense, the government, they get mad. So we do have to fix it. Check it out. If I fold the bill in half, quarters, eighths, do not take your eyes off of this. When I squeeze and slowly open up that bill, we are now right back to where we started with a crisp, clean dollar bill. And of course, I would now give this back to the audience in person. Guys, one last thing for you before my time is up. Please go to magicrocks.com. You can see all my highlights from America's Got Talent, Jimmy Fallon, Penn and Teller Fool Us, all my TV shows. And like I said, I'm really lucky to actually be able to come in person to libraries. People can't believe when I'm standing there. They're like, how's the guy from TV standing there? But the reason I love doing it is because that's where it started. A librarian helped me with all the magic books, helped me with the magic tricks. So I really have a soft spot in my heart. Talk to any of the people who have hired me before. We're going to come to your library. We're going to rock it out and have a great time. Last but not least, something new for this year, and then I'll get out of here, is one of the things that librarians are really excited about now is I'm offering my magic camps and magic classes now. So we can pair these together as a one-day thing where I come in during the day, we do the class/camp, we can call it whatever we want. And then at night or later in the afternoon, we can showcase what the students learn. So it's what the magic camp is, what the magic class is each student gets one of my magic kits. We come in, we do instructions. Maybe it's a 2-hour day, maybe it's a 4-hour day. We can customize it to your library and what your needs are. The students then get to showcase that magic, right? And we have found that it is absolutely incredible and empowering to these kids these days. They need something to latch onto. They can only play so many video games. These things, these magic tricks are not just tricks. They teach them so many social skills, so many wonderful things, dexterity with their hands. So we're really excited about the new magic camp. So we can pair the magic camp and class on one day, do the show the same day, or if you're interested in one or the other, talk to me. Go to magicrocks.com. I'm available at leon@magicrocks.com for my email. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Keep doing all the great work that you do. We need it now more than ever.
Thank you so much, Leon. That was amazing. And everyone was reacting great. So keep using those reaction buttons. Our next performer, we will hear from Shea Rys, our storyteller and educator.
Good morning. My name is Shea Rys, and I'm delighted to be part of this showcase. I've been a storyteller for more than 25 years, and I recently retired as a reading specialist in the local public schools after 41 years. I now perform and teach storytelling to students, families, teachers, and communities. And I recently fulfilled a lifelong dream of telling stories at the National Storytelling Festival in Jonesboro, Tennessee. I specialize in interactive stories involving the audience as much as I can. I have 4 performative programs that you can choose from. Scared Silly, which is a mix of mildly scary and whimsical tales. Magic and Mayhem, which includes fairy tales and magical stories. Noodleheads and Nincompoops, a collection of funny tales of foolish, silly, and thoughtless behavior, which we just did this summer at the Liverpool Public Library. And Irish Tales of Wit and Wonder, which includes leprechaun stories and springtime tales. During my single performances, which can involve 1 or more sessions, I focus on experiences that involve the audience directly, whether through echo and repetition, action and motion, or active participation where both children and adults become performers. Here is a short clip of a recent performance held in a local elementary school. And just one second. Technology is not my strength. Can you see this?
This morning, we're going to do The Ghost with One Black Eye. And I always like to tell kids who the author is, but I don't know the author to this one. So for a story like this, I say, this story is by Anonymous. His title is The Ghost with One Black Eye, and it always becomes a favorite story of every group of kids I see. Are you ready? All right. The Ghost with One Black Eye. One morning, mother, father, sister, brother, and baby were all sitting in the kitchen eating breakfast. Suddenly, the baby started to cry. She said, I'll get it. Say, I'll get it. And so she walked across the kitchen floor, reached up to that cellar door, and down the cellar here, at the bottom. Out jumped the ghost with the one black eye. Put your arms up and say, oh, And sister screamed, and she ran up the stairs, slammed that cellar door, raced across the kitchen floor, but the baby was still crying. I want my apple juice. And sister said, oh, be quiet. Oh, be quiet. And have a Coke. So brother said, I'll get it. So he walked across the kitchen floor, reached up to that cellar door, ran down the cellar stairs. When he got to the bottom, out jumped the ghost with the one black eye, and he said, oh, here's the ghost with the one black eye. And brother screamed, and he ran up the stairs, slammed that cellar door, raced across the kitchen floor, but the baby was still crying. I want my apple juice. And brother said, oh, be quiet. Say, oh, be quiet, and have a root beer.
As you can see, that's just a small sample of the kind of interactive style that I have with children and adults. I also offer storytelling camps and residencies that teach the art of storytelling to students or adults. In the past 2 years, the Liverpool Public Library has hosted 4 of my storytelling camps for school-age students up through 8th grade, modeled on the storytelling clubs that I ran for over 20 years in the local public schools. These residencies meet each day for 5 consecutive days for up to an hour and a half. Participants observe stories and performance techniques. They choose from a wide array of tongue twisters, poems, fables, stories, and fairy tales. They work with others to learn the material, and then they perform for their peers and families on a daily basis. During the performance part, students are taught to give constructive criticism and positive feedback in a kind and caring manner. By the end of the week-long experience, students have not only learned to perform self-chosen pieces, but they've also grown in confidence, friendship, and kindness toward others. I encourage you to contact Joellen Murray at the Liverpool Public Library for her perspective on the immense value of these programs. I recently submitted a course proposal to the Chautauqua Institute to teach storytelling to adults during their summer program, and I can offer a similar 5-session program to your venues to allow adults the opportunity to learn to tell stories to their children, grandchildren, and families. Currently, I have openings for both one-day performances and week-long residencies throughout the year. The week of January 29th to February 4th is already fully booked for Catholic Schools Week, and the week of February 20th to 24th is reserved for a storytelling camp for the Liverpool Public Library. Booking for summer slots should occur quickly, as I'm already scheduled at Liverpool Library and Chautauqua Institute. I can be reached via my email, and my website at maryshayrys.com should be operational within the month. Before I sign off, I would like to share with you a very small sample of pictures of the more than 1,000 students who have participated in my storytelling camps and clubs over the past 20 years. It has been absolutely my joy to watch these children grow and shine. So thank you for your time, and stay tuned for these beautiful pictures of children in action. My screen share, okay. I'm unable to share my screen. Resume share. I'm having trouble sharing the. I'm unable to share my screen at the current moment, Amanda. I'm not sure why.
Mary, I'm gonna go ahead and stop your sharing and then maybe try starting it again.
Okie doke. And it still is not coming up. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, on our end, it says that you started screen sharing, and I'm not sure why it's not working. Let me go ahead and stop your screen sharing again. And then maybe try You know, how you have some options for screen sharing, maybe try a different option.
Okay, one
A
second.
different screen or
I
something.
apologize. It worked in the tech run through. Share, one second. I apologize. It worked beautifully in the tech run through.
It did.
And I'm not sure what's,
Usually if you pick the screen, if you're on more than one screen, that
I-
might, yeah.
yeah, that's what I did. Let me just try this. Can you see my screen?
No, unfortunately, you still just see a screen that says you started screen sharing, but for some reason it doesn't seem to be going through all the way.
Let me try stop share, and then let me try to share again. Is it there?
Unfortunately not.
Okay, well, I apologize to all of you. I have beautiful pictures of the students in action because one of the most wonderful things is to see them just bloom. And that's the thing that we see even in a week. It's amazing. So please, I hope to meet you all and have a chance to perform at your venues. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Mary. And Joellen has even thrown in the chat about how awesome her programs are. So be sure to reach out to her. And I threw my mermaid wig on because now we'll be hearing from Captain Jack Sparrow.
Good morning. My name is Rick Martinez, aka Captain Jack. I am a self-published author, pirate Santa Claus, and entertainer storyteller. Over the past decade, I have worked with a lot of libraries throughout Central New York, Western New York. Some people call me the I-90 pirate. I adapt all my storytelling to be interactive with the kids, teach them pirate history. Lately, I've been doing a lot of fun things with the kids, like a little STEM stuff now. Working further on a lot of fun stuff with a science of pirates. Say, if you want to do a science of pirates thing, I'm teaching them how to read compasses and maps and charts. We did a little bit of that in one of the libraries this summer. I try to make all my readings interactive with the kids so the kids can be part of the books that I read, also my books that I read to them. I have 3 books that are out right now. I've got a couple more coming out next year. And we're just having a lot of fun with the kids. I have questions and answers. We have arts and crafts, make the old school pirate hats and boats and all sorts of fun stuff. Any questions, please throw them at me right now. I'm also looking to do some adult stuff. Over the past 30 years, I have been working with a lot of different people as a bartender, but also as this pirate, I have become part of the International Rum Council. Say, if you want to do history of rum or something with the adults, let me know. I am open to all those. I don't know. It's been over a decade. I started out working with literacy volunteers at Utica County and doing readings with everyone and doing a bunch of special events with them. In fact, we've got one coming up next week where we're having a pirate Christmas, where I'm going to share one of my new stories with them next Sunday. Continuing writing and teaching pirate history to the kids. It's all about letting people know that, you know, pirates weren't as bad as they thought they were, but they are. And Captain Jack has been my go-to character and gets the kids going and understand that he was bullied and he was able to overcome. He is able to use his wits to go and do other things. I have a lot of question and answers with the kiddos. And then the other thing too with me is that we can have a huge crowd and we can make it feel small, and we can have a small crowd and make it feel huge. I always try to get all the kids to interact, have fun, and have a good time. Any questions right now? I was supposed to have a video, but my video went down, so you can't, couldn't bring it up. I had a few technical difficulties, and right now my internet's going in and out, so hopefully everybody's seeing me. I will travel to Long Island for programs, and I have reasonable rates. I have not changed my rates forever and a day, and we can talk about that. I am also talking to the Brooklyn library system, so if we can, I would come down to your area. I always have. In fact, this year I did 40 libraries. I started out in Poughkeepsie, so I was getting closer to Long Island. What else? Any other questions? I try to, for each year that there is the summer reading program. Last year was awesome because it was oceans of possibilities. How perfect was that? You know, you get Captain Jack Sparrow, boom. But I try to see what's going on with each library, what they want to do. I would like to sit and talk to you, what you would like to. Do I share any safe sea shanties? Yes, I can, and I've altered a bunch of them, and we had a lot of fun with that too, so that's not a problem. Yes, the sea shanties can be a little bit naughty, but yes, I've changed those up quite a few times for a few things. And can I send you a link to my performances? Yes. If you can go to www.apirateb.com, there should be a couple links to performances. There's also we have to update. Sorry about that. That was my bulldog in the background. Hi, Ozzy. Did you wake up? Gotta love my dog. I will share it for you guys. That's it. Thank you, Amanda. Where was I? My bulldog just got me. Gotta love it. Bulldogs and kids. Yes, I will share some videos with you, or I'll send it to Amanda and she can send it out to you guys. Really apologize about that. My lights are flickering right now because of the wind and whatever else is going on. But I will be available and I just started booking some stuff for the summer reading program. And also I'm available year round. So if you want to do something at Christmas time too, I have Pirate Santa Claus. And you're going, Pirate Santa Claus? Well, I'm teaching the history of Santa Claus, and my 2 new Christmas books is basically legitimizing my character and also teaching the history of Santa Claus. You know, Santa Claus is not really a big fat guy. Yeah, Santa Claus is a pirate. How do you think he can get in your house? How do you think he knows where you live? How do you think there's a whole history? I'm learning. I want to teach the kids and get the imaginations back again. My most favorite thing is I walk into a grocery store sometimes and kids see me like this and they run up to me and go, "Hey, Captain Jack, we just went to the library, picked up some new books." My job is done. And when they do that, and it just makes me feel so incredible that they're going to the library and are doing things. And that is my #1 favorite thing to hear from the kids. Or, you know, when the kids come to me with the books that they purchased, my books that they purchased, and want autographs. And that's the other thing too. Every library, and I've been trying to tell them that all the time, every library that books me, I will give you my books for your library. I am not like other authors and whatnot. I want to make sure that my book gets out to everyone. I know that you guys all have to jump through hoops to get the appropriations to have people like us there. And my big thing, and a lot of people have had me there, is I am a pirate, but I'm not a thief. and I put on 110%. If you book me for an hour, I wind up staying for 2 because you never know what's going on after the fact. I am truly your pirate for the day if you need me. And we can have so much fun and enjoy all the fun things that we can do with the kids. Can we hear a few pirate sentences, please? What kind of pirate sentences would you like? Do you want the Jack Sparrow version? Or do you just want something that I teach the kids? I also teach kids pirate ABCs. So, we go through the whole thing of teaching them how to say yes in pirate. And when they're there with you, and when I'm gone, that you're the captain. So I teach them aye and ahoy and all the other fun stuff. There is a whole list of words that I start out with the shows with. I get them to really get aye captain going, and then boom, next thing you know, there's that SpongeBob song comes out, and we have a lot of fun with them too. So we sing along, we do sea shanties, all sorts of fun stuff. Anything else? I'm looking down there at the chat. Thank you, Marcellus Library. I had a blast that you were my kickoff last year, and that was a fun one from you. We had a blast. And that's pretty much it for me. And here you go, Amanda, it's up to you.
All right. Thank you, Jack. Or Yee. Just to thank Yee. I'm bad at my pirate.
Oh, don't worry about it. Last you got it almost close.
Rebecca did drop the handout to the link to the performers handout in the chat. Now we are going to move on to the musical offerings of Tom Sealing. Take it away, Tom. Tom, you're muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Perfect.
Great. All right, so my name is Tom Sealing. I'm from Newfield, and thanks a lot for asking me to be part of this great event. And I'm honored to be part of the lineup. I do lots of summer reading programs every year. Last summer I did 47, and have been around Central New York all my life. And basically, I'm a guitar and banjo player, and my program is the most fun, rowdy, participatory kid songs I know, along with the most cool, interesting facts about animals and pictures that I can dig up. And I'm just going to do a couple excerpts for you this morning. And as you might guess, the more you can pretend that you're 6 or so for the next few minutes, the more this will all work pretty well. We can't see you anyway, so you're totally safe. And I can usually tell who's used to working with kids because you have to be shameless. Now, if you want to see a more extensive sampler, you can just Google Tom Sealing, that's S-I-E, Tom Sealing sampler, and it'll come right up. I made it out in my woods. So you can see even R-E-A-D, which is a rewrite of what you might guess, Y-M-C-A, but we won't have time for that today. And we're gonna start out with one. Who do we have? No, you're 6. Who do we have in this picture here? Is this guy in trouble? Why is he just hanging out with his video camera like that, looking all relaxed? Anybody know what kind of animal this is? All right, I can't believe kids actually know that. This is a whale shark, and they're the biggest fish in the sea. If you get any bigger than these guys, they're about 40 feet long, as big as a school bus. And if they get any bigger, if you see something bigger, it's a real whale. It's not a shark, which would be a fish. It would be a real whale, which would be a mammal like us. And does anybody know what they eat? Right. Again, I can't believe kids know these things, but they eat krill and plankton, which are little tiny plants and animals. But one thing they don't eat is divers, and that's why he's hanging out all relaxed like that. And people can even catch rides on these. They grab onto a fin and you can ride for as far as you want. But we're going to put a little bit different kind of shark in this song. Raise a hand if you ever had a dream. Raise a hand if you ever had a spooky dream. All right, this is just a dream in this song, just for fun, and you'll see what's going on pretty fast. We're going to get ourselves a beat, so see if you've got a little room around you to move here, and let's see if we get the beat. Help me out. Baby shark, baby shark, baby shark, baby shark. He's getting bigger. Teenage shark, teenage shark, teenage shark, teenage shark. Even bigger. Mama shark, mama shark, mama shark, mama shark. More mature. Grandpa shark, grandpa shark, grandpa shark, grandpa shark. Uh-oh. Daddy shark, daddy shark, daddy shark, daddy shark. We're going in. Swimmer doo 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 doo, swimmer doo 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 doo, swimmer doo 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 doo, swimmer doo. Uh-oh. Saw a shark, saw a shark, saw a shark, saw a shark. Swam real fast, swam real fast, swam real fast, swam real fast, just a dream. Shark attack, shark attack, shark attack, shark attack. Just a dream now. Lost a leg, lost a leg, lost a leg, lost a leg. Help him out. Rescue boat, rescue boat, rescue boat, rescue boat, first aid, CPR, 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 CPR. It's not working, it's not working, it's not working, it's not working. He's okay, he's okay, he's okay, he's okay. It was just a dream. All right, thanks everybody. I hope that got through okay. And so the kids really go crazy with that, as you might imagine. And we do lots of them outside as well. I bring a good full sound system for use to every show, and it works great outside. So if you want to do it outside, that is fine. And we're going to do one more rowdy one, and we're going to use a chair. And if you want to try this with me, you can pull a chair up, and if you have bad knees, you might want to sit this out, but otherwise it's pretty fun. So you start sitting down like this, and here we go. Everybody stand up, everybody sit down, now stand up again, turn all the way around, you can keep standing up, but not for long, 'cause this is the sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down song. Let's try that a little faster. Everybody stand up, everybody sit down, now stand up again, turn all the way around, you can keep standing up, but not for long, 'cause this is the sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down song. Okay, really fast, last verse. Everybody stand up, everybody sit down. Now stand up again, turn all the way around. You can keep standing up, but not for long, cause this is the sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down song. Thanks, everybody. I hope that all came through okay. And it looks like I'm doing okay time-wise. I can't see you from back here, so if anybody had anything in the chat, I'll check it afterwards. And that's pretty much the whole idea. Like I say, it's basically the most fun, interesting songs that I can come up with, and it's a lineup of 10. So I think that's about it for me. Amanda, back to you, I think.
Yep, you finished right on time. Perfect. Thank you so much, Tom. And I think I speak for all of Zoom, where we're going to be singing Baby Shark all day long.
Lucky you.
Now we are going to hear from Vanessa Johnson, storyteller and griot. Vanessa, you're muted.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me now. Thanks for having me today. So I'm Vanessa Johnson. I'm a griot, a storyteller in the West African tradition, which means that I focus on the stories of our community and the ideals that we want to teach our children in our community of love, fairness, justice, those types of tales. My tales are both for children. I have children programs and I have adult audience programs, but a lot of the children's programs that I do, adults really love them too. My programs are lively and are interactive. I love to get audience members involved in my storytells. I'm doing a Kwanzaa program with storytelling at the Everson Museum, for example, and at Beecham Library this Kwanzaa season. And everyone has a part. Everyone gets to come up and help light candles safely with their parents and to say principles and to be involved in the production and in the storytells. I like to use traditions of call and response and audience readings for people to come up and join in and help create stories. One of my favorite tells to do is a Jerry Rescue reenactment, which celebrates Central New York's Underground Railroad movement and the subject that is kind of a hard subject around slavery for our country. But in this interactive tale, everyone gets a part. Everyone gets to help rescue Jerry, a enslaved person who ran to Syracuse, was living here, and was going to be returned to slavery. And so audience members, the children, help rescue him in a true story of how he was taken to Canada by abolitionists. So it's exciting and it's fun, and I can bring costume pieces for kids to wear, and I give out the parts ahead of time if you have a library following, so kids can be ready with the readings. I keep the readings simple, language, and appropriate to all age groups. And if for kids that don't read, there are parts where they just shout and boo and clap, and they respond as people responded in that time period. My most popular tells for youth include Animal Talk, which are stories told by animals that really address our character development around fairness and not bullying. And so their voices tell these tales. Again, these are interactive. People can join in. There are hand movements. I bring small instruments for people to also play, for the kids to play. I collect instruments from Africa and from the Caribbean. And then I have a program called Drum Tales, where I can come into your library with drums, and we perform a drum circle, learn a beat together, and use that beat to tell stories with. But I also do drum tales in a more quiet manner for libraries that don't want the drumming. And that's a great program to do outdoors in the summertime. I do Underground Railroad tales that include voices of children in slavery. These are very carefully curated to be age appropriate to a children's audience or an adult audience. And so it's a wonderful way to address that important subject matter for upstate New York with kids in an age appropriate manner. I do children's voices, again, curating them carefully from the civil rights movement about their triumphs in helping to change the world and encouraging our kids to be kinder in their schools. Include that kid who no one talks to ask them to sit at your table at the cafeteria. Those kinds of lessons about creating environments that are loving environments in your schools and in your community. And one of my favorite too is Earth Tales that I worked with expanding these tales. I worked with kids on Zoom during coronavirus. I work with first through third graders at McKinley Brighton School, and we created some stories together. They critiqued them. One experience was creating a story about a giraffe, and one of the first graders says, "Now, Miss Johnson, I don't believe that giraffes walk that soon. I think you really need to tweak that part of the story." So teaching them about storytelling. I do workshops. I come in and do workshops where kids create for like poetry days, create poems. We do them on the floor with big pieces of paper and moving words around. Again, I like to do interactive things. You can check out all of my programs on my website. With each category, I probably have 50 to 60 stories that I've created or memorized to present. I am a visual artist. I'm a winner of one of the Creatives World Rebuild New York Mellon Foundation grants this year. And so I'm able to offer library programs at a big discount. So I think when you get the handout with my price range, please take $100 for the next 2 years off of my library offerings. That's a give back to the community with that grant. So let me do a story before I run out of time. This is what I love doing at schools and libraries. And I can remember standing on a bus stop, and I was just waiting for a bus, and these 3 kids standing next to me started saying, "There's a voice in my head. There's a rhythm in my heart. There's a song in my soul I gotta sing." And they had heard me tell in their school and remembered this story. It's called The Frog Who Wanted to Sing. Once upon a time, because I love stories that start once upon a time, there was a frog who wanted to sing. But he had this problem. See, everybody said frogs don't sing. They say ribbit. They say ribbit. They say ribbit. Frogs don't sing. But you see, this frog had a voice in his head. He had a rhythm in his heart. He had a song in his soul. He had to sing. So he went to his mother and father and said, "Mom, Dad, I want to be a singer. I've got to sing." And Mom and Dad kind of looked at each other like, okay, because they were frogs and they knew frogs don't sing. They say ribbit. They say ribbit. They say ribbit. They don't sing, but they love their babies. So they say, "Go on, child, go on and sing." And so he went out in the world to sing. He put on his hat. He tied on his tie. He polished his shoes, and he left for the world of singers. And he thought, "I'm going to need a little help getting in the industry." And so he went to a singing place, to the bird tree where the birds lived in their tree house. And he knocked on their door. "I want to talk to you. I 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 got a voice in my head. I got a rhythm in my heart. I got a song in my soul. I got to sing." And he heard laughter. They were laughing at him. Frogs don't sing. Frogs say ribbit. They say ribbit. They say ribbit. They say ribbit. And so the story goes on for this frog trying to find allies, even his friends that don't believe frogs can sing. And he, at the point where he gives up, he still hears that voice in his head, that rhythm in his heart, that song in his soul. And he goes to a fox and he says, "I want to sing. I want to sing. You have that restaurant where they have open mic night. Let me sing." And when he tries to sing there, the word has gotten out that he'll be there, and all the animals begin to laugh at him. But he has this indomitable spirit where he does finally sing. and he becomes a famous singer, never forgetting where he came from, and always comes back to his community and shares his singing. And so that's one of my favorite tales that I tell. So I would love to come to your library. I would love to do a workshop. I work with families to tell their tales and how to be storytellers about their family stories and their community stories. So check me out on my website, and I hope to hear from you. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Vanessa, before you go, we do have one quick question that was in the question and answer. Are your drum tales age appropriate for teens?
Yes, I have drum tales. Usually I tell the same ones. They're drum tales from around the world. And so they are appropriate for all age groups. So if a family group comes, if it's a family tale, there's something for everyone. The parents love to do it. I used to do these drum circles out at the state fair at the Harambe Youth Tent that I ran for youth. And parents and kids from 1 to 99 love to do the drum tales. Everybody wants to put on their hands on an African drum and learn a little bit of rhythm.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Vanessa. And you even have some more, what's the word I'm looking for? Publicity in the chat.
Okay.
So, awesome. Next, we will see what balloon artist Twistin Topher is twisting up today.
How are we doing today, everybody? My name is Twistin Topher. I've been doing my balloon business for about 5 to 6 years now. Most of you might recognize me as your friendly library delivery man. I have been doing this trade since I started at Margaritaville as one of their lead stilt walkers, walking around about 10 feet tall as a pirate. And since then, I have branched out to do my own thing where I do private events, do public events. I have participated in Pirates Weekend. I've participated in the Pride Parade, and I've also done a little bit of work with the libraries as well. What I do is I come in with my balloons, with my pump, and I wrangle all the children up, and we have a good time. I keep them all entertained the entire time that we are hanging out. So, and when I say that, I normally have a line of kids that stretch as far as you can see. Every single event I've done, there is no limit to the amount of balloons and fun that we can have. I apologize for the squeakiness. My mic does sometimes pick it up. Just to give everyone a little bit of an idea of where it is that I do it. We have here a teddy bear for whoever it is that wanted it. I do have some back here on the wall for everyone to just kind of as an example of some of the things that I have done and what I can do. We have a Viking helmet right here, which pairs very nicely with a fun sword for the kids. We have a princess crown for all of the princesses that like to live out their imagination. And the beautiful thing about my trade and about my art is that it is endless, the amount of things that I could do. Now, one girl might be just want to be a normal princess, and the next one in line wants to also be a princess, but we can't have them all be the same princess. That wouldn't be all right. We have to give them some individuality. So the beauty of this is I can take this crown and tell her, well, you are going to be the princess of hearts inside. And then she's walking around with a big old heart on her head. And then let's go one step further. We can take ourselves a little puppy that I have here that I made prior to this. Bring it in here. Just attach it right there. And now she's got a nice little princess crown of puppy love. When I wrangle the kids up, we have a lot of fun activities that we do. I create little games for them to play, whether it be keep it up with balls, balloons like this. I create wonderful adventures, especially if I come dressed for the whatever it is that the event may be. Like I said, I've done pirate gigs dressed up like a pirate, and I do come with the ability to be in costume. If your event does have a special theme, I do work out prices for whatever the theme is, if I can find myself a costume, and those are all negotiable. I have created an entire cavalry of swordsmen and lined them all up and had them all go off in a giant war of balloons, which was fun. And whatever it may be, the kids are always entertained. It's kind of funny, actually. Some of the adults at times are more enthralled with the things that I can do than the kids. Which is why I've actually created a workshop while I'm doing things. If you prefer to be a little bit more of a sit-down learning experience, for the kids to be able to sit down and learn how to do these balloons themselves. Either way, we are having a wonderful time learning, enjoying our time together, and just having an experience that you really won't get anywhere else. I'll give one more real quick here before we close up. I want to show you one of the bigger balloons that I can do, because I do much larger artworks as well that can literally fill this entire room with balloons. I think the largest balloon sculpture that I have ever created was around 105 balloons total. It was a giant octopus that connected about 10 children's heads all together, making it so every single one of them had to stay connected. The first one to take it off was the first loser of the game, and the last one standing was the winner. The funny part about that is, as it started dragging, as more and more kids started to lose their heads, if you will, the heavier, you'd be surprised at how difficult it is to keep 110 balloons afloat in the air. See if I can real fast. How much do I have time to do it?
You probably
If I
have about
really
a
hurt
minute.
myself, I might be able to get it.
You have about a minute, Topher.
We need one more here. I think I have about 2 minutes left.
And I'm not sure if Topher can hear me, but this is like the speed balloon twisting part of it.
We are out of time, unfortunately. Well, just so everyone knows, this would have been a very large top hat by the time I was done with it. And it would have been phenomenal to see a little kid walking around with what could have been a 1930s style balloon top hat.
Right. Well, that was fantastic. That was very, very quick for like 30 seconds or a minute, under a minute. So our next performer, thank you so much, Topher, is going to be Michael Albert. He's going to put some pop in your art. Take it away, Michael.
Hi, everybody. My name's Michael Albert, and I'm an artist and an author. And this is my book, An Artist's America. And my main art form is that I've been making collages using cereal boxes and cardboard packages of all sorts of products that we get at the grocery store and the drugstore. Stuff like this, cereal boxes, tissue boxes, cookies, crackers, anything like that, printed, colorful cardboard packages. And it's sort of a recycled form of pop art. And I've been doing this for over 25 years. I'm a very serious artist, and my real goal is to create masterpieces of pop art. But I've also developed this traveling art program that I've been putting on since my book came out. And my book came out in 2008. It was published by Henry Holt, and maybe some of you have it in your collection. I have done programs up in the Syracuse area. About 10 years ago, I did a tour of upstate New York, and I've done programs all over New York State. I live in White Plains, New York, and I'm from Long Island. I've done programs all over the New York area down here and all over New York State. But this summer, I'm planning on doing a tour of libraries in Upper New York and in New England. So it's great to have the opportunity to connect with you about possibly booking some workshops this summer. You know, I'm hoping to do maybe a week or even 2 weeks in the Syracuse area and then expand out. I'm definitely planning on doing stuff in Long Island, Westchester, really anywhere. This past summer, I had 125 programs in 9 Midwest states and drove 13,000 miles. And I drove out as far as Billings, Montana, and spent a good portion of my summer in South Dakota, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin. So I'm happy to be back in the Northeast this summer. And as you know, there's plenty of libraries in New York State. So it would be great to come back and do some stuff in my home state. My program is 2 hours long. There's a description of it that they're going to provide for you, but generally it's a 2-hour long program. And I start out by introducing myself. I show examples of my work. I bring a selection of posters that I've made of my artworks, and I give the group ideas of what they might want to do during the hands-on collage portion of the workshop. I show them my first ever cereal box collage, which is this, where one day, just experimenting with art and different materials, I decided to take this cereal box and cut it up into pieces and put it back together again. And I thought it looked really cool. And I just kept working with this type of material and developing all sorts of different ideas. I show this as one idea where they could just take a package and cut it up and put it back together. I show them a series of ideas where they could use colors from different packages, such as this heart made of assorted images from red products. This sunflower collage I call a brandscape, which is also using the same materials to create some sort of a nature scene, flowers or trees. And then I also do a lot of text-based work where we cut out letters and spell things, whether it's a message like this, "You are what you create," which is my own message, or a lyric, a phrase. I think a collage of the person's name is a great idea. There's just so many things that you could do. I give them some general ideas to start with. And by showing them my posters, it gets the creative wheels spinning. And then, they could think about what they would like to do. I bring scissors, both kids and grown-up scissors, and glue for up to about 40 or 50 people. I think beyond that, it's probably better to have 2 sessions. And very often sessions can be split between age groups, or it could be a multi-generational session. Usually it's the younger kids and families, or a teen group. Very often the teens like to have their own group. And I've been doing more and more adult sessions as well. At a lot of libraries, they have been having me to do like what I call a double session, 1 session for one age group and 1 session for a different age group back to back. And that way I could give a even more discounted rate. But after showing them, I also provide cardboard bases for everybody. And so I come with a pile of boxes, but we can ask people to bring in a box to add to the pile. It's not required. It does get everybody into the spirit of what we're going to be doing, into the idea that, oh, we're going to be taking, this artist is coming who takes all the boxes from our everyday life and makes art with it. And, the staff can start bringing boxes in, and it could be put into your marketing materials that, bring in a box and Michael Albert will show you how to turn it into a work of art. And so the posters serve two reasons. One is to give them some ideas for what they might want to do, and also to show them examples of things that I've made. But also I offer everybody that participates in my program a free poster as a thank you gift for participating. So they get to meet the artist, learn a little bit about who I am and what I've done, do the project themselves, make art using the exact same materials that I use to create my serious artworks. And then not only leave with something that they've created, but leave with a signed print as a thank you gift for coming. And I've done this program, I think, close to 1,000 times now in 42 states. I've gone to Europe a few times doing this. I often do programs at schools during the school year. I've gone to a whole slew of museums all over the country and done this. But the library is a perfect venue for this, because for summer reading, you have an audience of people who are interested in continuing to learn. And that's who I want to interact with. They're interested in learning about art and doing fun, creative projects. And this is something that once they do it, they could do it at home if they would like. So thanks so much for your time. I'd love to come visit you and work together, and have a great holiday season. And thanks so much, Amanda, for letting me be part of this.
Oh, thank you, Michael. Yeah, and he's been around. We have some comments in the chat as well about some of the pieces that folks still have at their libraries.
Yes.
So hopefully we'll be back.
Falls. It's a wonderful life. I want to go back. Hope to see some of you again.
Awesome. All right. So our next performer, we're going to see a variety of options from Benjamin Berry, hoop dancer, circus artist, teaching artist, and performer. Take it away, Benjamin.
Thanks, Amanda, and thank you to CLRC for having me today. Hello, everyone. Like Amanda just said, my name is Benjamin Berry, and that was the laundry list of what I do, but mainly I'm a teaching artist who specializes in making creative movement accessible. And so the way that I do that is through a couple different flavors, if you will, a couple different themes. One of them is, like Amanda said, circus arts, which I specialize sort of in the pillar of what we call prop-based circus arts. So this is a ground act. I have lots of aerialist friends who are dangling from the ceiling. That's not what I've chosen in this life. But I do all different kinds of object manipulation, dancing with props, and juggling. And then my very first circus art was actually hula hooping. and doing hula hoop dance about 10 years ago next summer. And I've had the pleasure of working in libraries in Western New York since my first summer reading season in 2018. Since then, I've done somewhere between 70 and 80 facilities in Western New York, mostly in Erie County, Cuyahoga County, Livingston County, Chautauqua, Allegheny County. So I'm really hoping to connect with your communities out more eastward. So I actually did prepare a slideshow to show you a little more about each of my offerings. So I'm going to try sharing my screen, fingers crossed. I know we've had some technical difficulties, so let's see. All right, hopefully you can see my screen. Can I get like a thumbs up in the chat? Okay, great. Thank you. Wow, there's a lot of you here. Thank you. Okay, so let's take a little peek at what I've prepared. All right, well, that's not full screen, but that's okay. So like I said, I have a few main themes. My three main themes are circus arts, hula hoop dance, and something called the brain dance I'll be telling you about a little bit too. So circus arts programs is sort of like the catch-all variety offering. So this is where participants are going to get the widest array of experiences. And there's two main ways that it's structured. It's either structured as an instructional workshop where every participant has a prop in their hand at all times. They'll usually learn about 3 different circus arts. 3 is kind of a magic number when it comes to finding just the right amount where it's not overwhelming, but it still has something for everyone. So the Circus for All instructional workshop is my most booked program. And it does include a single performance by me at the end, by the way, but the focus is on the learning and on the instruction. And then at the end, I give just a single act just to give them an idea of what they can do if they keep practicing. And then if you have a larger audience or a larger amount of participants, I recommend going for the show format, which is 45 minutes for 25 upwards of whatever we can fit. Number of participants, we've had up to 100, 150 in some libraries. And that can also be adapted as a story time program where I read from a selection of books related to circus arts and hula hooping. The Hula Hooping Queen is one that I love to use, as well as the Juggling Pug. But even when I do a performance, it is very education oriented. It's still going to be focused on learning and education, and there's audience participation bits in between all 3 or 4 of my acts where I'm teaching them and showing them things and making them look cool in front of their families and peers, really, at the end of the day. So circus arts program, Circus for All, that's my main offering. And then I have also just a hula hoop specific program. Like I said, this is my first circus art, so I have the most experience with it. And this is the one that I can go the absolute deepest with. And there's also something to be said that hula hooping is very familiar, right? So everyone's heard of hula hooping, and it's very multi-generational as well, where if a family comes to the program, the grandparents who come are going to have fond memories of the original hula hooping craze of the 1950s, which we would talk about during the program, but also everyone has probably picked up a hoop at one point. And this program also can be tied really well into a wellness week if you're having one of those, or if you just want to offer something a little more exercise oriented, because people associate hula hoops with exercise, even though my approach to it is a little more of modern dance and contemporary dance and creativity. And then I do also have a DIY hula hoop crafting workshop where I bring all of the supplies and people get to make and take home their own decorated hula hoops. So this last summer for Oceans of Possibilities, I had some mermaid tapes. Not sure what I'll do for the theme this year yet, but that's another great offering. People love free things, and it's very enticing to get people into the program. And some libraries have also doubled up where we do the hula hoop crafting, and then we have a little break, and then we come back and do a full instructional workshop with our new toys. So that's an option as well. And then lastly, The last few years, I've been especially focused on accessibility and movement. And this is one modality that I find particularly interesting. The brain dance is a series of exercises that are based on the 8 fundamental developmental movement patterns that we go through in the first year of our lives. So these are movements that are based on reflexes and based on healthy development in infants. So things like taking deep breaths, full extension of the body and full flexion, the Moro reflex or the startle reflex, moving up to more complexity like cross-lateral movements where you're crossing the midline. By the way, juggling is a great example of a cross-lateral movement. So I do tie the developmental patterns into my circus program as well now. But the great thing about the brain dance is it can be done entirely seated. So for anyone with limited mobility, whether they're a child or an adult or a senior citizen, we can gear the program towards whatever population you're trying to reach. So we can just keep it broad and do a seated brain dance, and then whoever comes that wants to do a seated class can participate. Sometimes calling it brain dance for seniors or brain dance for elders makes it more clear that it is specifically designed for that group, so they know that it's going to be for them. But I've also done it for vision impaired and blind children, as well as adults with Parkinson's. So if you have a particular group or organization that you want to partner with and offer something unique for them, then that's something we can discuss. But and it can also be offered as a professional development. So if we want to gear it towards educators so that they can then use it as a professional tool in a learning tool in their classrooms, that's something else we can do. So it can be offered a lot of different ways, but it's a great modality that I really believe in, and it's an accessible movement option, which are very popular these days. If you have a group who does something like, let's say, Tai Chi, or some other kind of like low impact, gentle movement practice where they're open to something a little different, chair yoga, seated yoga, then that community will love this. And then lastly, let me just talk about my discount. So you might have heard of this before, but a lot of vendors will offer what's called a block booking discount, which is essentially a discount when either 2 or more facilities come together and book in the same day, or a single facility can also book me for multiple programs throughout the day, back to back with a little break in between. And I'll also offer the discount that way. And the reason I started doing this is because I actually grew up in Dansville, New York. I don't know if you've heard of Dansville, New York in Livingston County, but it's a small town of about 4,000 people. There's more corn than people in Dansville. And so I have a soft spot for rural communities. I especially love to bring my programs to the rural communities. So this is a way that I am able to offer it at a price point that works a little better for a rural library budget, but then I'm still able to come out and share, and it's just a win-win. So you can either talk with your local librarian friends, maybe you already have a library that you do arrangements like this with. You can talk with them and find a date that works for all of you, and then approach me with some dates. Or you can just reach out to me through my email, which will be, of course, on the handout. And you can just say, hey, I'm interested. Here's where I'm at. Let me know if something comes up. And then as people come to me and are interested, I can also help coordinate a block booking arrangement so that you guys get a discount and it helps justify my travel all the way from Buffalo, New York.
All right. Thank you so much, Benjamin. I'm sure you'll be coming this way. Yes. Yep.
Okay. Sorry about that.
You're fine.
Feel free to send me an email if you have any questions, and I have a PDF for each of those offerings with more details. All right. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you. And I agree this year's theme is going to be tough, but I think Benjamin has some great programs that'll fit the All Together Now theme for summer 2023. So for now, our final performer, we have the Reading League's Reading Buddies.
Hello, everyone. Hi, it is so nice to be here. My name is Dot, like the polka dot, and this is my dog, Dusty.
Like the dust.
We are reading buddies. We love to tell
love 'em.
stories and play games.
Love the games.
Yeah, we do. We have lots of other friends that come with us when we visit libraries like
Yep.
yourself. We have Nadnerb.
An alien.
Yes, he's an alien
Yep.
friend. And then we have Alphabot.
Yeah, robot.
Right. And then our opening act is usually Wiggleworm. He's a comedian. He used to be on the vaudeville strip.
Yeah, his jokes are questionable.
They are a little questionable. We have to tell our audiences that we have to make them feel good. So we give these big belly laughs, just like that.
It's good to support people.
Yeah, it is, Dusty. Dusty and I, we got into this art of storytelling because I am a Broadway actor. And when the pandemic happened, I know, I had to put that in there. When the pandemic happened, I felt the need that I had to find connection and community. And Dusty, you were able to do that with me because we started to do read alouds on social media.
That's right.
That's right. And then we got some interest from the national nonprofit, the Reading League, and we started to build a television show that is backed by the science of reading, and it is called the Reading League's Reading Buddies. It is on PBS.
And the rest is history. Also on the website.
That's true. That's true. You can find it all online. But what we do when we go to libraries is we try and bring our show to life. So we read a book, we play some games, and we thought we could do some of that here today. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Sounds great.
great. Okay, great. So today's book that I'm just going to read a few pages of because I know we're tight for time is called, oh, sorry, Dusty.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, good. It's called The Word Collector by Peter H. Reynolds.
Oh, I collect his rocks.
We do collect rocks. Let's see if anybody in this book does that. All right. Now, traditionally, I'll hold the pages up for all of our audience members, or sometimes they'll come up on stage. But for today, I'll try and show you my book this way. Collectors collect things. Some people collect stamps. Some people collect coins. Others collect rocks, Dusty.
I'm not alone.
You're not alone, buddy. Some collect art. Some collect bugs. Others collect baseball cards. Some people collect comic books. And Jerome, what did he collect?
I'm going to guess words.
You're going to collect the words? Okay, let's see. Jerome collected words, Dusty. It's like we prepared or something.
Yeah, I know.
He collected words he heard. Certain words caught his attention. Dusty, do you have a favorite word?
Food, dinner,
Yeah.
supper,
Okay.
lunch. Any of those will do.
Okay, great. He collected words he saw. Certain words jumped out at him. He collected words he read. Certain words popped off the page. Dusty, can you show me what it would look like to pop off the page?
Yeah, let me see. Pop.
Oh, gosh, wow.
Oh, there's a word. They're popping out all over the place.
They really are. Short and sweet words, 2-syllable treats, and multi-syllable words that sounded like little songs. Ooh, this one says kaleidoscope.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Can we make up a song about kaleidoscope?
Okay, you want to do it right now?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you do.
Okay. Kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope. You
Wow.
collided with my heart.
Wow, Dusty. Wow, we wouldn't even need our amplification system. You're such a good singer.
Oh, which we provide?
Yes. Oh, yes, we do. We do. That was a little subtle, pitch for our sound equipment. There were words he did not know the meaning of at first, but they were marvelous to say. There were words whose sounds were perfectly suited to their meaning. Dusty, I feel like your name is perfectly suited for you.
What are you trying to say?
Well, because you're Dusty, I guess that means I probably should clean our house.
Yeah, it sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, I guess it is, honestly. Jerome filled his scrapbooks with more,
Getting the dust off.
I see. With more and more of his favorite words. Jerome's collections grew. He began organizing them in dreamy, science, sad, action, poetic. One day, while transporting them, Jerome slipped and his words went flying.
You better catch him.
He really better. Oh gosh. Okay. I want to make sure we have enough time for all our questions. So I'm going to let this be our last page. Okay. As he began to pick them up, he noticed his collections had become jumbled. Big words next to little words, sad words next to dreamy words. Oh my gosh, I'm hooked. I need to read one more page. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's a nail biter.
I know that
What's
was
going to happen?
That was a cliffhanger. I didn't want to leave them. He used his words to write poems, and his poems he made songs. They moved, they delighted. Now I'm gonna have to save the rest for when we come and visit, but I hope that when we come and visit that we move people and we delight them with all of our silly little antics, to Dust.
Yeah, and we'll bring them on, and we have a lot of friends and games that we can play with them, right, Dot?
Yeah, we do. Oh, Dusty, do you want to play a game right now? We do have a little bit of time.
Is it fetch? I'll go along.
No, Dusty. Oh, hold on. Dusty, come back. Dusty. Stay here, Dusty. Okay. Okay, so this is one of the games I love to play. It's called What Is It, Dusty?
Let me stretch for this one.
I'm gonna put this blindfold on Dusty. Now let me get the mascara off of it because I used it last night. Just like no, I wasn't saying you do. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on. And then I'm going to hold something up. Now, usually I put this in my suitcase and our friends will come up from the audience. They can pick something from my suitcase. And Dusty, you all right?
I'm okay.
Okay. Now stay right here, over here. Okay. Now I'm going to just pick something from my table. I'm going to pick.
Yeah, I have a super great sense of smell. So I'm pretty good at this.
Okay. So I'm going to give you clues. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm going to give Dusty clues and then he has to guess what it is.
And normally a kid gives these clues, right, Doc?
Right. And they're usually really good at it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dusty, I'm holding something that is orange.
A computer.
No, over here. Smell this. Okay, it's oh, sorry, I forgot about your allergies. Okay, it's there are pedals on it.
Pedals. A bicycle.
No. It's got a green stem.
A green
and orange pedals. Now it doesn't have to be orange, it could be yellow or like
it can be different kind of pedals.
Yeah, and it smells like spring. What do you think?
An orange flower.
Yes,
How did I know?
You even got the color. That is so impressive, Dust.
I'm not lying.
No, you're not. Hey, Dusty, do you want to tell them about our TV show before we run out of time here? Come on,
sure.
Tell them.
A little plug here. So we have a TV show on PBS. We start up in Syracuse. That's where we film. And it's with the Reading League, which is a nonprofit group of, how would you describe the Reading League?
Oh gosh, teachers. And they're usually coming to the aid of teachers. And what's great about Reading Buddies is now we get to bring kind of the science of reading to the families and to the actual kids that are receiving it. Yeah. We get to bring it in this engaging and silly and playful way, don't we, Dusty?
That's right. They're teachers that teach teachers.
Right.
You know they know what they're talking about.
You know they do. Mm-hmm. We started at PBS, WCNY, that affiliate, and now we are in different parts of upstate New York. We are down in Long Island. We are on Channel 21 now, so we reach all the boroughs, which is really exciting because we are currently here in Queens. And we're hoping that we can just bring our show on the road and meet more of you, because when we come, we can do arts and crafts, we do dance parties, and we take Reading Buddies and we really kind of bring it to life, don't you think?
Yeah, we did the arts and crafts, like we make puppets and things. I don't know why we do that.
What?
We make puppets, like bag puppets.
Oh, right. We make a build, Dusty, but the puppet, that part's just, kids love puppets.
Kids love, I wish we had some on our show.
Yeah, I wish we did too. Okay, I only have 1 minute left, so I'm just going to let people know that you can find us on YouTube. We have a channel full of our read alouds, which is the Dusty and Dot YouTube channel. You can also find 40 episodes of Science of Reading backed Reading Buddies on the Reading Buddies page. And then we're also on Instagram as well. So you can reach out to us that way.
Should I answer those questions?
Oh, how long is your program?
As long as you want.
No, that's not true, Dusty. Usually we do 30-minute blocks. So we'll do 30 minutes for a read aloud, and then we'll take a little break. We can do pictures with Dusty and Dot, and then we do kind of like a 30-minute arts and crafts session. So all in all, it would be an hour of your time. But we've done larger events like Comic-Cons where we kind of do a show and then we rest, then we do another show and then we rest. So
we can be outside or inside. We have a traveling set. And
we do.
And it could be Zoom too. If people just want some sort of virtual programming, we could do something like this. We work around you.
We're versatile, aren't we, Dusty? Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having us. Check us out.
Thank you so much, Dusty and Dot.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Wow. So there's the questions in the chat about the virtual or in person, which I think you answered. And Yeah, that was great. Wow, it's already 11:30. Thank you so much to all of our performers. Rebecca has thrown some things in the chat for the evaluation form, the certificate of attendance, and our featured performers Google Docs. I don't know if there's anything else, Rebecca, that we need to touch base on, or?
Just so everyone knows, I already mentioned this at the beginning, but this was recorded. So you will get a follow-up email in the next few days that will contain the same links I just put in the chat for you, as well as a link to this recording. But other than that, thanks, Amanda, and thanks to all our performers. This was wonderful. And thank you everyone for attending.
Great. See you around.
All right. Hopefully your summer reading programs will be nice and fun. Bye everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.